This is how I installed a modern stereo system with cameras, amp, and subwoofer in my old school Cadillac. This is everything that I installed in the Fleetwood. The head unit is a Pioneer DMH-160BT. It's pretty much the only thing inside the cabin. Now we can go under the hood. And I have my adapter that goes to the power wire to the amp. You can also see the fuse down there. And right here you see wire loom that goes up, and that is actually for the front facing camera, which I mounted inside the grill. And to get power for that, I tapped into this fuse block. We can go around to the back. We have the subwoofer and box right here. And I hid the amp and a capacitor on the side here where the factory amp used to go. And I also ran wiring, I added wiring here for a reverse camera. I'm working on a new stereo installation in the Fleetwood. Just want to show you guys where I'm at thus far. The unique thing about these cars is the brains for the radio actually isn't behind the dash. It's actually in the trunk. So the wiring harness for the new radio goes from here, and it goes all the way across the car through to the trunk. So usually when I'm doing wiring, I'll just tuck it under the trim. But since this is so much wiring, I need to put it under the carpet. So I'm actually going to be removing the front seat and some of the trim so that I can get the wiring harness all the way underneath the carpet, so it will be a clean installation and you won't see it. So time to get this seat out. I've got the front seat out and I'm starting to remove some of the trim. I need to remove this plastic door seal trim. It's actually one piece that goes from all the way up here across the front door and also the back door. Okay, I've got the trim out. I went ahead and took out the bottom seat cushion, and as you can see right here, there's a hanger just coming through. I moved the carpeting out of the way, and you can see the other end of the hanger. So I think I'm going to be able to snake these wires through on the hanger without having to take out the seat back. So I'm getting ready to start that process of fishing the wires through. All right, so I have a lot of the wires fed through. So we're making great progress. This is one that I added, this blue one. This is the remote wire that tells the amp when to turn on and off when I put an amp in the trunk. I almost forgot, but the remote wire reminded me I need to run the power and I need to run the audio lines from the radio to the amp. So these need to get slid through and run alongside the rest of the wires before I start putting everything back together. So I'm going to get these ran right now. All right, here's a quick update. Right here I have the audio for the amp left and right, and then I have the power wire. I was able to use this channel right here where there's already wires going through and go through it. You can see that power comes out, and then right here I had to drill a hole through the firewall, and I used a rubber grommet. Make sure you do that if you're going to drill through the firewall. So I have a rubber grommet for the power wire and the front camera. Front camera wire is going through. And if we come around out here, you can see they both come up. And I just have the one for the battery laid right here. And then here's the input for the front camera. Not exactly sure where I'm going to mount that yet. I actually think I'm going to mount it on the grill, somewhere behind the grill, either at the top or down here at the bottom. I haven't decided yet. We have the wires ran through the dash, ready for the new radio. Ran the wires underneath, can't see them. And then here you can see they all go along tucked away nice and safe. Come to the back, it's more of the same. And as you can see, I'm able to use some of the wire ties that's already here in the vehicle. There's one there, there's another one right here. You see we have extra slack in the wires. Comes back into the trunk. Right here is where it's actually connected. And then this is the connection for the antenna. And then this is for a future amp. We have our power left and right, remote switch so it knows when to turn on and off. The only thing I would have to do is ground it, but if I put an amp in, I'll be grounding it back here, so I don't need to run any wires through the car. We also have our backup camera. I have the wire ran up the hinge through the trunk, and it comes out here because I'm going to end up mounting it somewhere underneath here, so I have my wire here for that. So I think it's finally time to grab the head unit and start testing everything out before I put it back together. I have the power wire ran for the amp. You can see the fuse down there, and this is the end that we'll need to attach. But as you can see, there's really nowhere to attach it. This is a side mount battery, so I have this battery bolt extender, which this gold end will go into the battery, and that leaves us with another threaded end with a nut, which will allow us to connect the battery. So I'm going to get the positive side off and get this installed. I wanted to show you all the trunk as it is right now because it's going to change. I've already started this blue stitching. The Rockville logo on the side was blue, but I actually have already changed that to black, and I use duplicolor vinyl and fabric, and I highly recommend this if you're trying to change the color of like carpet or cloth or fabric. This works really well. It's kind of like a dye, and it actually soaks in, so I would use this instead of paint. So the logo on the side is black, and I'm happy with that. The logo on the top, I'm actually going to be covering this, and that's what I have this for. I'm actually going to cut it to size. It's going to go across the top. I'm going to put some suede over it, and eventually I'm going to get it embroidered. But for now, we're just going to put it on top. And also, these 12-inch subwoofers, they sound great. However, I have a Pioneer head unit, and I wanted to go with Pioneer subs. So I have one right here. It's brand new in the box, and the other one is on its way from Amazon. So the Rockville subs are going to be coming out, and the Pioneer is going in. And this actually isn't for sound. These actually sound great for me, but I just like the way the Pioneer looks, and it's going to match the head unit, so I'm going to swap those out. Also, these are priced really well. I actually got this off a guy for $30 off of Facebook Marketplace, and the other one I'm getting from Amazon cost me $55. So we're in it for $85. Of course, I'm going to take these out, put them on Marketplace, and see if I can get some money back that I spent on those. All right, so I have the piece cut, and it's just going to sit in the middle like that over the logo. I'm going to go ahead and get this covered with black suede real quick. So I got the piece made here, just covered the wood and some suede, and we'll set it in place. Like that. And I have a patch right here, which is the same as what I have on the floor mats. So I have the new trim piece installed. It's just a couple dabs of glue on it to hold it in place. I really like the way that looks. Got the suede with the old school Cadillac logo. That wraps up the stereo install process for the Fleetwood. It was a fun project. It sounds awesome. and I'm really glad I did it. If you found that video helpful, be sure to subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, and leave a comment. God bless you all.